Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Danielle. I'm a wellness counselor, and I help women self-heal and align with their highest self through clinical psychology, energy work, and neuroscience. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 harsh truths that I wish I knew before becoming an entrepreneur. This video is for you if you are in the beginning stages of your entrepreneurship journey, you are looking for that inspiration and motivation, or you're just feeling a little bit lost, stuck, or confused. This is also for you if you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, starting that side hustle, becoming a content creator, or really just taking that leap of faith and trusting in yourself and your vision. A little background about me: I started my business back in 2021, that area, and it started very slow, very organically, and now in 2025, I have a really lovely wellness counseling practice up and running, and these are the things that I wish I knew before I started my journey. These are things that I feel you can apply to any area of business, although mine is mostly a service-based business. But I think this can apply to content creation, product development, selling, digital products, really anything in that regard. If you are going to be your own boss, if you're going to create an LLC or a corporation or whatever it may be, then this video is for you. And a little disclaimer, this is the stuff that I learned on my own journey, and I still feel like I'm only cresting the surface of all that I am capable of. So I very much still consider myself a beginner. So if I have one tip for you, it's to be a lifelong learner, be a sponge, soak up all of the information, and never give up on yourself, never give up on your dreams. And also, it is very important to me that you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. I am not a business coach. I do not have a master's in business or finance. All I know is what I've experienced, and I hope that this inspires you and encourages you. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first harsh truth is that you will fail continuously. And I mean that not to discourage you, but to just warn you a little bit. You will fail and fail and fail and fail and fail until you get that success. And that's by design, right? There's nothing wrong with you if you are failing. Failing is not a sign that you should not keep going forward. Failure is actually a sign that you are on your way to success, right? Because if you have to fail 10 times before you can succeed once, then you're going to have a lot more failures than you'll have successes, but you won't get to your successes without failure first. There is a theory that I absolutely love by Seth Godin, and that is called the dip. And essentially, it is this graph. I will put it up on the screen. And what it shows you is that when you start something new, there is this excitement, there's this momentum, there is this spark of energy that lights you up, and it feels really easy to keep going. But eventually, you will hit what he calls the dip. This is a point where progress slows, maybe motivation slows, maybe you're having some of those failures back to back. But essentially, things just feel harder. The newness of your endeavor wears off. Some of those imposter syndromes and doubts come through, and you just start to feel self-doubt, and that's where most people quit. Godin says that only those willing to push past the dip are the ones that become successful. He says that the dip is not a sign that you are failing, but it's actually a rite of passage, and it's kind of like this initiation in order to reach that level of mastery. And I will tell you that there are many times when I feel like I'm still in that dip. But it's okay, right? I've had so many times in my career where I have launched something and have heard crickets, or I have tried to do something that completely flopped, or I had really hope that this opportunity would work out and it just didn't. And what I find myself really proud of myself for is that I really do not let the failures stop me, and I continue to push past them because my vision and my mission in my business is so much stronger than my fear of failure. However, I do wish that I had known going in that there would be this much failure, and that failure is literally a part of entrepreneurship, because there have been so many nights when I've been so upset I couldn't sleep because I felt like it was a me problem. I felt like I wasn't cut out for this. I felt like I was failing in so many ways, and I did not know how to kind of get my morale back up. But then once I heard entrepreneurship stories from other people and heard how many times they failed, or once I read books like The Dip, I realized that There's nothing special about me, right? It's not me that's failing, it's the process that is unfolding. And the more I lean into the successes, the more I pivot and face the things that really align with me and let go of the things that don't, that is when I will continue to move forward and achieve more and more success. But yes, the first harsh truth is you will fail, and that is okay. Learn to love it, learn to embrace it, lean into it, because every single failure you face is just one step closer to that success. The second harsh truth is that people are going to be extremely triggered by you taking that leap of faith. And let them, right? In the words of Mel Robbins, that let them book is everywhere. Just let them. But when you tell people what you're doing, or people find out that you are doing this new side hustle, or you're going and starting your own business, people are going to get triggered, but only the people that feel a level of insecurity within themselves. Because what's happening there, and this is, my wellness counselor showing up in this video, what's happening is that you are embodying confidence, you are embodying bravery and courage and trust in yourself, and you are embodying that and reflecting that. And what that is doing for the other person who is getting triggered, it's showing them how much they want to be like that, but are holding themselves back. So there's this cognitive dissonance occurring, and it's making them extremely uncomfortable. And this most likely happens subconsciously, like completely underneath the surface. And so they are going to make themselves feel better by saying like, oh, you're gonna fail, or oh, that's so cringy that she's posting online. They're going to do, not they, but their subconscious, their programming, their limiting beliefs are going to go through like a mental gymnastics to try to make you out to be the person that's in the wrong, or the person that is cringy or weird, not themselves, because really they're feeling a level of insecurity there, and maybe they wish they could get out of their 9-to-5 job, or they're feeling really stuck in their own career and they wish they had the same courage that you do. And so the second part of that is to have a lot of compassion for the people that do get triggered, because really they are just struggling inside, and their own pessimism when it comes to it is a reflection of that. When it comes to the people that leave the hate comments or say nasty things to you, let them. Send them love, send them compassion, and know that that's going to be a part of the journey. You are always going to have people that look down on your success because they're insecure about themselves. And so that's something I wish I knew. I took so many of the comments, and I just took so much of other people's perception of me and feelings about what I was doing to heart, and I feel like that held me back from doing a lot of risky things earlier. I wish I took more risks and started a YouTube channel back 4 or 5 years ago when I felt inspired to, not waiting until now. But you know what? If someone's gonna say something, then let them. The third hard truth is that if you prioritize metrics like money, sales, followers, clients, you will burn out and you will not connect to your highest potential. If you are someone who has such a strong desire and drive for entrepreneurship, then I know you have a clear, strong why in your heart. Entrepreneurship is not easy. People say they quit their 40-hour-a-week jobs to work 80 hours for themselves, and it's so true. There is a level of grit and courageousness and determination that you have to have in order to do well in entrepreneurship. And I will say, I also believe that in order to do well, you need to have a strong gift back, a strong reason for your business, a strong way in which it is going to help the world. It is so much more than just money at the end of the day. This is your mission, this is your heart, this is your service to the world. And when you lose track of that, and you focus on external validation and metrics like money or followers or clients, that is when you lose sight of the heart of it all. And I genuinely believe that the heart is the core of success and abundance when it comes to entrepreneurship. You have to be aligned in your mission, aligned in your energy, aligned in your heart in order to attract your fullest potential. Can you be successful doing the trends? Can you be successful just focusing on followers or money or having a very textbook strategy? Absolutely, you can be successful doing that, but you won't be as successful as you could be when you bring service, your gift back, your why, and your heart back into the mission and back into the work. That is something I wish I knew earlier, because honestly, I got so stuck in the mental spiral of like Instagram followers. And I don't even know why, because most of my clients don't even come from Instagram, and I have a really full, thriving practice. And maybe only like 5% of my clients have found me through social media. And so I don't know why I was harping on it so much when all of my other avenues of networking and marketing are so much more life-giving and fueling than posting on Instagram. But there was a time when I feel like I really lost my creativity and I really lost my own voice because I felt like I had to perform, or I felt like I had to be a certain person in order to be liked enough to get this amount of followers and get this amount of income. And I really did spiral in it. I did not expect to be the type of person that would. And I really lost myself to the metrics for a little bit, and I finally found my way back. And I'm so grateful for that. But that's some wisdom I want to impart on you. When you notice that you're getting too bogged down by the metrics, or you're making that your definition of success, then that is when you're losing track of the heart and the mission of your work. And you need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and connect back to your why, and then act from that place. When I stopped posting on Instagram, when I stopped doing the strategies that everyone says you're supposed to be doing, that is when all of a sudden the phone was ringing off the hook. I mean, really, it was the emails. The emails are ringing off the hook. My inbox was full when I just let go. I connected back with nature. That hour a day that I was so stressed out about Instagram, I was going for a walk, I was hanging out with my dog, I was making a latte in the sun, and nothing changed. If anything, it changed for the better. And I really do think it was the energy of my own being. It was my mindset that shifted, and it allowed opportunities that were in alignment with me to come to me more easily and naturally because I was able to look for them. I wasn't burned out. My nervous system was more regulated. All the things that go on in business really start with you and your own well-being. And so when I let go of the metrics and came back home to myself, that was when I started to see so much more success. And it happened so much easier than if I was being a nut posting all the time. And that leads into the fourth harsh truth, which is that your mindset matters so much more than your strategy. And if you are a business guru, if you are someone who has gone down the rabbit hole of Instagram strategy and business strategy and all of that stuff, don't throw tomatoes at me. This is just my personal opinion and based off of my own personal experience and based on my work as a counselor and energy medicine practitioner. But your mindset, the beliefs of your subconscious mind, how regulated your nervous system are, if there's any blocks in your energy system, that matters so much more than the textbook strategy or the external things that you're doing in your business. This is entrepreneurship. You are the heart of your business. And so if you are imbalanced in some way, that is going to reflect monetarily, reflect out into the external world. You could have the perfect business plan. You could pay someone tens of thousands of dollars to create this launch plan for you. But if you have limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind, or if you're burnt out, it just won't work. So really, inner work is just as important, if not more, than outer work. So don't lose your own well-being in the I'm working for myself 80 hours a week energy. Yes, hustling and putting in those hours and staying up late and doing the grind, it has its time and place, and I'm definitely in those seasons sometimes. But it needs to be aligned action. It needs to be aligned work. It still needs to be life-giving and fueling you. You will not love every aspect of entrepreneurship, but you need to love the version of yourself that is an entrepreneur. You need to trust yourself that you can do this. You need to rewire the limiting beliefs in your brain. I say this because a lot of my clients recently are coming to me with limiting beliefs around their own ability to succeed, whether that is in entrepreneurship or in their own careers. And so I find that a lot of the discourse in my counseling sessions as of late have been this idea of confidence, self-worth, and empowerment when it comes to career and mission. So yes, I'm sharing this from personal experience, but I've also seen how fast this works with my clients when we work on their mindset and work on their limiting beliefs, how they start to experience that external success and abundance faster as well. The fifth harsh truth is that consistency is so much more important than random bursts of motivation. I truly believe that success is built upon these small, mundane, boring things that you do almost every day, not those big launches, not those big ideas, but the little things that you're doing every single day to heal your mindset, be the best version of yourself, make sure that you are a creative vessel. Those are the things that are going to build up to actually bring you success and consistent success long term. For example, I started my podcast 4 years ago when I had no clients, no following, just a dream. And for 4 years straight, I made sure that I posted a podcast episode every single week. I showed up consistently even when no one was listening. Even though I only got like a handful of clients from the podcast and it didn't really bring me any external success, it was probably the best decision I ever made for my business. And it is because it taught me discipline, it taught me grit, it taught me consistency, it taught me that you have to make time for this, that you have to fit it in. I made a commitment to myself that I would upload a podcast every single week, and I think that is what brought me to where I am today, because the momentum just kept rolling, right? So every week I had to think of an idea, I had to record it, I had to edit it, I had to upload it, and then I had to market it. That did not take 5 minutes. It took hours out of my week, but what it did was it brought me back to my why. I absolutely love to research and yap, okay? So I was doing that every week and it felt so fun. And so every single week I connected back to my mission and I had fun doing it. And that consistency is what allowed me to never give up. Through that consistency, I learned so many high income skills. I learned so much about what I like to talk about, what I like to research. I learned and I learned and I learned and I built movement and I increased momentum and I just kept the ball rolling, even when there was a dry spell with clients, even when I had to take a leave of absence, even when this happened and this happened, I still had my podcast keeping me on my mission, keeping me on track and encouraging me and inspiring me to not give up. And so yes, those flashy launches and those flashy business decisions that feel like those are gonna move the needle the most, they don't. It's the little things that you do every day or every week where you show up for your business and show up for your mission. That is what is going to bring success and abundance. The sixth harsh truth is that your first idea will probably be a flop, and that is okay. I've had so many floppy ideas. I've had so many ideas that I thought were going to do really well and didn't. I had ideas that I really didn't think much of and everyone loved them. And what I mean by this truth is that entrepreneurship is an evolution. Your first idea, your first 10 ideas, your first 10 initiatives, they may not work out, but it's about doing the 11th and the 12th and the 13th and the 14th, learning, doing market research, becoming more skilled in yourself, becoming a new version of yourself that can kind of handle entrepreneurship. Every product, offer, service, pitch really is a stepping stone. And I wish I knew that because I got so hard on myself. I really beat myself up when I had those flops, when I had those failures. But really, every idea has brought me closer to where I am today. For example, I have my wellness counseling practice because I wanted to write a book. I wanted to write a book kind of grounding spirituality and making it more towards like teens and young adults. And that's where my podcast was born. That's what I started to talk about on my Instagram. And then the ball just kept rolling and I found ITA energy medicine. I found wellness counseling. I found mental health counseling. And the ball just kept going. And I'm thinking of the snowball. Like it just kept building and building and building until it became so big, it became bigger than me in a way. And so I'm so grateful that I took initiative and I tried and I failed. And I wish that I wasn't so hard on myself about those failures because that first idea is probably not where you're gonna end up, but that is probably what feels the safest to your subconscious mind to try. And then through the stepping stones, through the breadcrumbs, they will lead you to your more aligned mission, the most abundant, successful version of your mission. But in many ways, I still consider myself a beginner, and so I know that where I end up 5 years from now is going to be so drastically different from where I am today. And I'm so curious and I'm so ready to meet that version of myself and discover what I'm meant to do in the future. The seventh harsh truth is that boundaries will make or break you. Without clear boundaries on your time, your energy, your emotional availability, your resources, you will burn out and begin to resent the business that you love or the passion project that you have so much excitement for. Your nervous system really does need to be regulated in order for you to lead well. When you are stressed or anxious, then it's really hard for you to activate and align with that creativity. So make sure that you are taking breaks. When it's just you, it can be very stressful because you feel like, well, I'm sitting on the couch relaxing, but I could be putting in the work in my business to make even more money or get to where I want to go even faster. But rest and taking breaks are just as productive as doing the actual work. So make sure that you are setting boundaries with yourself, with your time, with others, that you're not saying yes to everything, you're saying yes to the aligned things. And I know that's a big business tip, is like say say yes, say yes, say yes, meet people, meet people. But I have a different approach, and that is protect your peace, protect your time, protect your energy. If you know something isn't in alignment with you or your mission, then say no. Only say yes to the things that are aligned, and that is going to allow you to conserve your energy and resources, prevent burnout, and get more successful. Harsh truth number 8 is that comparison is the thief of creativity. I mean this with my whole chest. It is so easy to compare yourself, your business, your journey to other people because of the internet, because of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, everything. It is just so easy to compare. And once you start doing that, you lose sight of your own unique voice, your own thread, your own mission. And that is the heart of your business. That is what's going to drive success and abundance. I got so stuck in the comparison trap for so long, and I feel like that's what caused the lull in my business growth. I feel like it stunted my business and my success so deeply because I was so concerned about what other people were doing that I forgot to check into my own intuition and say, hey girl, what do you want to do? What do you want to say? What's your own unique spin on this? Even here on YouTube, I stopped watching videos of people in the same niche as me or doing the same thing as me because I found that it actually hurt me. I was comparing everything about their videos and their work to mine. And so I love YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2014 while watching YouTube. And I watch videos that are just so completely different than mine because I find that it actually inspires me to look at my own work and my own videos in a new lens. And so comparison will steal your creativity faster, but gaining inspiration from other people is totally okay. And I wish that I knew the difference because in the beginning, I was looking at so many people's websites in the same niche as me. And I was just comparing myself to other people in the field, and that robbed me of my own creativity and voice. But when I started to leisurely see and absorb other content from other niches, that's when I found inspired, and that is when I felt more creative in my own work. And another element of this is I would feel this level of deep envy. Not so much jealousy, but just I wish I had that. What's wrong with me if they're able to succeed, or they've been on Instagram less than me and they have this amount of followers. It got very noisy in my brain, but something that I really had to tell myself, and I truly, truly believe, is other people's success is a reflection that it's possible for you too. I genuinely believe that every single person on this planet can be very successful and very happy and fulfilled and abundant. I don't think that someone else's success robs you of any potential to succeed as well. And that's something I really had to drill into my brain in order to just let go of the comparison. Harsh truth number 9 is that overnight success is a complete myth. You think that they had one launch and they're a millionaire, or those videos blew up overnight. It's not true, okay? There's no such thing as overnight success. Everyone you see have their big break. It's based off of years of consistency, years of hard work. Sabrina Carpenter is a big example for this, right? She was breaking into the, Disney and the music industry for years and years and years before her song blew up. I'm forgetting the first song that blew up by hers, but Sabrina Carpenter is now a very big artist, a very big name, and so many people called her an overnight success, but that's just not true. She probably spent years doing the branding for her own music because honestly, she really hit it out of the park, but it's not because it happened overnight. It's because she did it every single day for years until she got her big break. And that will happen for you too. You will consistently work and you will have those failures, but you will get that success. You will get your big break as long as you keep your mission aligned and your nervous system regulated and your eyes open and curious to everything that's possible for you. And then the last harsh truth, number 10, is that not every single person is going to be your ideal client. So stop trying to appeal to everyone. Gosh, I wish that I had this nailed into my brain in the beginning because I feel like I wasted so much time trying to appeal to everyone or being concerned about what everyone was going to think. When really, as a counselor, I cannot service every single person. I cannot have everyone on my calendar, right? And so the sooner that I really niched down and became clear on who I wanted to serve, what my business was for, the client I felt like my skills really aligned with serving, that is when, energetically speaking, I became a magnet to the right people. I stopped worrying about the people that I knew just didn't really align with my work, and I focused more on the people who were aligned with my work, were curious about learning more. I created content and marketing and copy all around speaking to that person. And that is when everything became a lot more easy, a lot more abundant, and I stopped getting so much in my head. I just started speaking to the person that I wanted to serve, and those people started to come. And a little bonus tip that I want to leave you off with is that you already have everything you need within you. Ready is a lie, okay? Entrepreneurship, I believe, is just about starting and then learning as you go. Get your hands messy, learn everything, be adaptable, pivot, right? Try new things, take risks. But I promise you that everything that you think you need outside of yourself, you already have within. And the version of yourself that is ready to hit those milestones and hit those income figures will be born through the process. So if you feel this burning desire in your heart, then just go for it. Shoot for the moon, for you will land among the stars. Get your hands dirty. Be curious. Start before you're ready. I have so much faith in you, and I hope from the bottom of my heart that this video inspired you in some way, encouraged you to follow your dream, and that you feel a little more calm as you begin this really fun, crazy, wild journey of entrepreneurship. If you are feeling encouraged to dive even deeper into the mindset part of entrepreneurship, then I encourage you to check out the Energy Reset, which is a guided meditation bundle there to help you heal anxiety and align with your highest self. I also have one-on-one wellness counseling sessions open for entrepreneurs who are looking to really rewire their limiting beliefs around their ability to succeed. So that link will also be in the description for a free consultation call to see if we're a good fit. And with that said, that concludes today's video. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending some time with me today. If you liked this video, then stick around, like, comment, subscribe, all of that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!